So I've seen an image of this theater and I thought, well, first, wow, it looks amazing. And then my second thought was, can I do that in Revit? And the answer is absolutely yes. And I'm going to be showing you right now. Let's go. Now, quickly, before we jump into Revit, I would just like to ask you to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com. I'm going to link it up in the cards above and then also down in the description of this video. If you're serious about mastering Revit, that's definitely the best place to be, with over 140 hours of content dedicated to all of the interesting and complex topics inside of Revit. Now, without any further ado, let's jump straight into Revit. And here we are in Revit. So as you can see, I have something basic drawn. Basically, I'm just using simple model lines to mark out the top of the roof. This is the bottom in the kind of floor plan view, and then here it kind of overlaps. And I'm just going to be using this as reference to model this. So this needs to be modeled as an in-place mass. So for that, I'm just going to go here to Massing and Site, and then I'm going to turn on the Show Mass Visibility, and I'm going to go to In-Place Mass, call it Mass 1, that's okay, click OK, and now let's get started. Now, if I go here to the south architectural elevation, you can see that we have this reference plane that we have placed. It's called roof, and this is just where we're going to be hosting that top roof. So let's now navigate here to the floor plans site plan and open up the site plan. And then in the site plan, I'm going to set the work plane first. So let's go to set work plane. I'm going to set it to that roof reference plane, click OK. And then I'm going to be using the spline through points tool in order to sketch it out. So here, make sure it says drawn work plane. Here it needs to say roof. Perfectly fine. Let's go. So now let's do this one first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to follow this shape and just put 1 point for the beginning of the shape, 1 for the middle, 1 for the end. So there we go. Middle, end, middle, end, middle, end, middle, and here we have the end one on the other side. Now let's go to modify and let's repeat the same thing just for the roof edge on this side. So for that, let's go again to spline through points. Again, make sure it says drawn work plane, roof work plane, and let's get started. So I'm just going to start off from somewhere like this, and then here I will have to place a few more just to make sure that the shape follows this a bit more closely. Again, I'm not going to go crazy about it just because we don't have to be too precise. We're just trying to get the general shape, not the kind of exact 100% correct shape. So let's go just like this all the way around till the end. Now sometimes it will give you something that looks like this, looks a little bit like an error, so you can kind of move things around and try to fix it. So let's see what this does. Okay, that kind of fixes it a little bit. There we go. So we might need an additional point here. So let's go to point, go to draw on face and just place it there. Hit the escape key a couple of times. Select it, go to make driving point, and then we can move it there. Perfect. There we go. So now it's following everything perfectly. Now if I go to the 3D view, this is what you can see. And now what we need to do is we just need to adjust kind of the waves. So it's basically following the waves in terms of these kind of extensions. So what that means is the middle points here, we want to move them up. So this one goes up. This one goes up. This one here definitely goes up. This one here goes up. And this one here goes up. Perfect. Okay, so we have the first one. Now the second one does require a bit more work, so let's go with this one, move it up quite a bit high, and then this one a little bit. There we go. So this one we can just move it up slightly, and then these two, let's keep them down, move this one up and this one. So basically, see what we're doing, we're just basically bringing the middles up, and then these parts we're kind of keeping down. So that's pretty much it. And now I'm just going to repeat or continue this process until I'm done with the entire shape. And in the end, this is what we get. Now I'm also going to close this up by selecting the last 2 points on these 2 sides and using a spline through points, and then let's repeat the same thing here. So spline through points, so I'm just going to connect those. Okay, moving forward, now we need to repeat this basically on the ground. So I'm just going to go and open up the architectural floor plan, go here to spline through points, make sure it's set to draw on work plane and that level 1 work plane is selected, and here we can have a lot less points, especially on this side. Then go to modify, go again to spline through points, and now we're just going to do the outside. So it does have a bit of a kind of tilt, so we need the outside one, or the bottom one, to be also outside. So let's do that now, and let's follow it just like that. Oops. If you make mistakes, that's okay. You can always come back later and fix those. So I'm just continuing this like so. Okay, just like that. Gonna follow the entire shape all the way to the end. Let's go like that. Go to modify, see if we need to fix something. That seems quite alright, apart from perhaps here, and we can just move it a bit. Perfect. Okay, now when we go to the 3D view, again, I want to connect these two, so let's use spline through points, connect these two, again, use spline through points, and now we're pretty much done. We just need to connect all of this. So what I'll do is I'm just going to hover over this line. See how it kind of selects the entire loop? We don't want that, so hover over it, hit the tab key once, so it's only going to highlight that single line. Click to select, then highlight this side, hold the control key, and then select that one, and go to create form. Now we have the form. To see it better, let's switch this to shaded, and there we go. So now this is a shaded form. Now let's pick the top one again. So hover over it, hit the tab key once just to select this single spline. Now select the one on the bottom. Again, hover over it, hit the tab key once to highlight just the single one. Hold the control key to add to selection, and then once those two are selected, go to create form, and now we have that form there. Moving forward, let's select these two. So again, I'm just using the tab key to toggle the selection down to just one line, and control key to add to selection, and I'm just repeating that here and making this side, and finally let's do this side. And there we go. So now we have the entire shape. Now to get the structure of it, what we can do is we can just, if I go here to finish mass, what you'll notice is that when we go to massing and site and go to curtain system, and then let's actually select this whole thing and apply a curtain system. What you'll notice, what will happen is that here we're going to get basically a curtain system that quite accurately follows this whole structure. Now what we need to do is we need to get rid of the horizontal lines, so we just need the vertical lines. Same thing goes here on the roof, just because that's how the kind of original model looks like. So what I can do is I can select this curtain system, and here if I just go to edit type, I can duplicate this type, and let's call it new system. Click OK. So here we can see that the spacing, so the vertical spacing is all right, the horizontal spacing needs to be, well, not there. So what I'll do is here, if we can switch to none and then hit apply. Now once we have applied this new system, you can see that if I select the vertical grid, it's still locked in. If I select the horizontal one, it's not locked in. So it kind of left it there, even though it's not part of this system. So what we can do is we can make a cross selection like this. Go to filter, check none, go to curtain grids, curtain system grids, apply, OK. And now if I hit delete, yeah, it should delete all of those. There we go. So it looks like this. Now on top, we can just repeat that. So make a selection like that. Hold the control key, add a few more, just like that. Go to filter, check none, curtain system grids, apply, OK, and hit delete. And now this is what we get. And then of course we can do the same thing in the back. So this is basically how you would approach creating this theater shape. It's actually really simple and straightforward. If you would like to get access to this Revit project file, both the kind of beginning file, which is the lines, and the final one, all of that is included on my Patreon page. I'm going to be leaving a link up in the cards above and then also down in the description of this video. There you can find all of my Revit project files. There's hundreds of files there. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com, for more Revit courses. There I have over 120 hours of content, and I'm adding more each week. Make sure to subscribe for more videos, and also I've added a video over there that might interest you as well.